Dravidian architecture style emerged from southern India, reaching its final form by the 16th century. Dravidian architecture uses shorter and more pyramidal towers, called vamana, over the garbhagriha. Modern Dravidian-style temples, however, include one or more high gopura or gatehouse entrances to the compound as their dominating feature. The Nagara temple style evolved from the Gupta structural temples. Nagara style has three sub-styles or schools, which differ slightly from each other. The garbhagriha is always located directly below the highest sikhara. Also, the Nagara style is characterized by the absence of boundary walls, which are widely used in the Dravidian architectural style of Hindu temple architecture. Vesara is a hybrid form of Indian temple architecture that combines Dravidian southern Indian site. The Vesara style originated in the region between the Krishna and Tungabhadra rivers that today is northern Karnataka. According to historians, the roots of Vesara style can be traced to the Chalukyas of Badami. They used both the northern Shikhara and southern Vamana type of superstructure over the sanctum in different temples. Badami Chalukya architecture evolved in the 5th-8th centuries CE in the Malaprabha river basin, in the present-day Bagalkot district of Karnataka state of India, under the Chalukya dynasty. It features intricate carvings of deities and scenes from Hindu mythology, including a majestic 18-armed Nataraj sculpture. Cradle of temple architecture Aihole, also known as Aryapura, was the first capital of the Chalukyas. Vijayanagara Empire ruled South India, from their capital at Hampi, on the banks of the Tungabhadra river in modern Karnataka. Vijayanagara temples are usually surrounded by a strong enclosure. Small shrines consist simply of a garbhagriha and a porch. Large temples have tall Raigopuram built with wood, brick and stucco in Chola style. Temple pillars often have engravings of charging horses or yali horses standing on hind legs with their forelegs lifted and riders on their backs. The Kalinga architectural style flourished in the ancient Kalinga, previously known as Utkal, and in present eastern Indian state of Odisha. The style consists of three distinct types of temples: Rekha Devula, Pidha Devula and Khakhara Devula. In Kalinga, the ancient land of Sakti cult, divine iconography existed since the mythological era. Hoysala influence was at its peak in the 13th century, when it dominated the southern Deccan Plateau region. Most Hoysala temples have a plain covered entrance porch supported by lathe-turned, circular or bell-shaped pillars which were sometimes further carved with deep fluting and molded with decorative motifs. The Nayaka followed the Dravidian style of architecture, with much emphasis on towering structures and elaborate carving. Much of the work centered around the addition of various mandapas, or columnated halls, filled with a variety of carved pillars such as the Pudu Mandapa directly adjoining the complex. Thirumala Nayaka is famous for his huge Tirumalai Nayakar Mahal, in the 17th century, develops earlier palace architecture from the Vijayanagara period. Deccan Sultanates is the architecture of the Deccan Plateau, and is a regional variant of Indo-Islamic architecture. The Turkish conquerors introduced new architectural styles: the vault, dome, tall towers, and the real arch without beams. The style of Indian art and architecture of Delhi Sultanate was toned down by combining geometrical patterns, calligraphy, inscriptional artwork, etc.